When you look at your life, you may often feel that something is missing. A person, a success, a moment that never came. This feeling of lack can quietly grow inside, making you believe that fulfillment lies somewhere in the future. But what if this sense of incompleteness is only a creation of the mind, a projection that distracts you from what is already here? When you pause and look deep, everything needed for your growth, peace, and joy is already present in this very moment. Life has never withheld in from you. It only reveals itself in proportion to your openness. Your openness, the more you resist what is, the smaller your experience becomes. But when you open your heart and accept life as it unfolds, you see that every moment, whether pleasant or painful, carries something precious, has been perfectly designed to move you toward awareness, to help you see that what you seek is not outside, but within. The completeness you are looking for does not need to be achieved. It only needs to be recognized. When your life against someone else's, your life against your mind creates comparisons, and suddenly what you have feels small. You may have love but one. Peace but desire excitement, comfort but long for challenge. In chasing what you don't have, you overlook the wholeness that already exists. Life is not unfair. It is simply responding to your level of perception. When you stop comparing, you begin to see that your life in its own rhythm and timing is perfectly balanced. Every human being comes into this world complete. The body may need food and rest, but the consciousness within is untouched by any need. That presence inside you is not seeking. It is simply being. When you connect to that space, you stop trying to fix yourself or the world. You realize that everything is already in its place, even the chaos. The very idea that something is missing fades away because you see that life is not a puzzle to solve, but a dance to experience. Experience. Nothing is missing and nothing was ever missing. The sense of lack disappears the moment you become aware of it. This awareness is the bridge between confusion and clarity, between longing and peace. When you look at your life through stillness rather than desire, you begin to feel the quiet perfection of existence. You don't need to add anything to be complete. Complete. Only need to remove the thought. You know the decision. You find it fun. You find. And knowing that life just as it is whole, the sense of lack comes not from life but from the mind. The mind is constantly comparing, measuring, and imagining something better than what is present. It thrives on movement, always pushing you toward the next goal, the next desire, the next illusion of fulfillment. This constant chase creates the feeling that something is bad. But life itself is never lacking. The sun rises. Existence continues in perfect balance. The sense of incompleteness is not in the world, it is in the way you perceive it. The mind is a magnificent tool when used consciously, but when it starts to lead the way, it turns into a restless master. It jumps from one thought to another, never allowing you to rest in the moment. You may achieve something today, but tomorrow the same mind will whisper that it's not enough. It builds dreams and fears, hopes and regrets, weaving an endless web of longing. If you identify with this movement, you will always feel that peace is just a little out of reach, waiting for another day that never comes. When you stop running with the mind, even for a moment, something beautiful happens. There is a stillness that opens up, space where you can simply be. In that space, life is not a series of problems to solve, but a presence to experience. The noise of I need and I want slowly fades, and you begin to sense a quiet completeness beneath it all. The mind still moves, but it no longer carries you away. You see its patterns, and in seeing them, you are free from their regret. Everything you have ever longed for, peace, love, joy, freedom, is already within you. These are not rewards to be earned. They are your natural state obscured only by the constant noise of the mind. The more you try to find them outside, the further away they seem. But when you turn inward and rest in awareness, you realize that nothing needs to be added or fixed. The treasure you seek is hidden in plain sight beneath the very search for it. Life becomes simple when you stop believing every thought. You start to live with ease without the burden of what's next. You act, you create, you love, not out of lack, but from fullness. Sister Susanna, Believe I love it. You have a desire, solace, answer, long fell lonely when of his fears. You are not sent into this world half made, waiting for others to complete you. From the very first breath, you are already whole. Existence does create fragments, it creates completeness in every form of life. Just as a tree holds the blueprint of its full growth within a seed, you too carry within you everything you needed to blossom fully. The idea that you need someone or something to make you complete is only a belief planted by the world, not a truth born from living, not a truth born from life itself. When you see yourself as incomplete, you start a never ending chase. You seek validation, love, success, and recognition, believing they will fill the empty space inside you. But the more you chase, the further away peace. No matter how much you gain, the hunger stays because it is not the world that needs to change. It is your perception. The mind keeps whispering that happiness lies just one step ahead, but keeps reminding you that peace is found only here in this peace is found only here in this very moment. Every time you depend on something outside to make you feel whole, you give away your power. You allow the world to decide how you feel. When someone praises you, you rise. Someone ignores you, you fall. This is the game of incomplete. Clean, that's the cycle. But when you realize that your completeness is not up for debate, you stop being tossed around by life. You move through it with grace because your sense of self no longer depends on the changing winds of the outside world. To live in awareness is to see that you are never lacking. The qualities of love, peace, and strength are not something you acquire. They are your very essence. Just the sky remains vast, no matter how many clouds pass through. You only need to stop believing that you are not. This recognition is the beginning of true freedom. The search for wholeness ends the moment you turn inward and rest in what you already are. The noise of the world may continue, but it no longer disturbs you because you have found the stillness beneath it all. You begin to lie. You begin to live not as someone trying to become more, but as someone who already is. And in that quiet knowing, you discover a peace so deep that no achievement, no relationship, no possession could ever compare. You are not a part waiting to be finished. You are the whole itself already complete. When you say, I need something more, you create a distance between yourself and life. That single thought becomes the wall separating you from peace. The moment you believe that fulfillment lies somewhere else, you abandon the richness of what is happening right now. This constant search for more is not about growth. It is a quiet form of resistance. Life is not holding anything back. Grow. Vacuum. It is we who refuse to fully receive what already is. Every time you wish for something beyond this moment, you deny yourself the experience truly alive, being truly alive. The truth is this moment is not lacking in it, not lacking in it. You need to be at peace to be aware. But the mind has been trained to look ahead toward a future that promises completion. You may think happiness will come once certain conditions are met. Yet the deeper you go into the chase, the more restless you become. The future never arrives as you imagine it. Because it is always a projection of a mind that cannot sit still in the now. Only when you stop running do you begin to see that life is never incomplete. There is no other place where complete and peace can exist except here now within you. This very breath, this very awareness is enough. The moment you truly experience it without judgment, you feel the quiet perfection of being. You realize that life does not need your conditions to be beautiful. It is already complete in its unfold. You are part of that same effortless flow, and the peace you seek is hidden within that movement. Every time you think something is missing, remind yourself that it is only the mind's habit to compare and desire. When you bring your attention back to this moment, even for a few seconds, the noise begins to fade. You start to notice the subtleties of existence, the silence between sound, the space between thoughts, the aliveness that has always been present. The mind may still ask for more, but a deeper awareness within you knows there is nothing to add. Life is complete, and so are you. When you live with this understanding, every moment becomes sacred. You no longer chase what's next because you are fully here. Whether it is joy or sadness, silence or chaos, you see it all as part of the same whole. You begin to experience a freedom that does not depend on circumstances. The need for more disappears and what remains in pure being, simple, peaceful, and complete. All longing is at its root a longing for wholeness. Every desire that arises within you, no matter how it appears on the surface, is a search to return to that state of inner completeness. You may think you are seeking wealth, success, or companionship, but beneath all of these is the same silent yearning to feel whole. Once again, the outer forms of desire are many, but their essence is. They are all expressions of the same forgotten truth that what you seek is already within you. When a person runs after love, it is not love they truly seek, but the sense of connection it brings, a reminder of unity, of belonging. When one pursues power or recognition, it is not control they crave, but the reassurance that they matter, that they are enough. Every longing points back to this same emptiness that was never real to begin with. The feeling of being incomplete is only a shadow cast by the mind. And the more you chase to fill it, the deeper the shadow grows. The irony is that completeness was never lost. It only slipped out of your awareness. Like the sun hidden behind clouds, it has always been shining. The noise of desires, comparisons, and fears creates the illusion that something essential is missing. But the moment you turn inward and become still, you can sense that quiet fullness within you. You realize that what you are searching for through so many experiences has been waiting inside you all along, untouched and unbroken. When you begin to live with this realization, life becomes lighter. You no longer run from emptiness because you see there is none. You can enjoy the things of the world without becoming bound to them because they are no longer means to fill a void. Relationships, work, and achievements turn into expressions of joy rather than desperate attempts to feel whole. This shift from seeking to being transforms every part of your life. The search for wholeness ends not in acquiring, but in remembering. When you remember who you are, not as a body or a mind, but as the awareness that holds it all, the chase stops, the heart settles. You understand that you were never broken, never lacking. Everything you thought was missing was only hidden behind layers of forgetting. In that moment of recognition, longing dissolves into peace and you return to the truth that has always been you are complete. The more you look outward, the more you lose touch with yourself. The world is full of distractions, comparisons, and expectations. And when you focus on them, your attention is pulled away from your inner reality. You begin to measure your worth against others to chase approval, success, or recognition, believing that fulfillment lies somewhere outside. In this pursuit, you drift further from your own center, forgetting the quiet space within where true peace resides. Turning inward is not about rejecting the world, but about reconnecting with the source of your own being. When you pause and observe yourself without judgment, you begin to sense the vastness of consciousness that has always been present. Peace is not a reward to be earned from achievements or possessions. It is the natural state of your awareness when it is not constantly reaching for something else. The quieter your mind becomes, the more clearly you can feel this completeness within yourselves. Every desire for more, every need to fix or change something outside takes energy away from your own inner harmony. When you stop seeking fulfillment in external circumstances, you begin to reclaim that energy. The mind no longer pushes you from one goal to the next, and you start to experience life as it is rather than as a series of challenges to overcome. In this space, joy arises naturally on anything outside yourself. Yourself. The shift inward requires practice and attention. It begins with small moments of stillness, a few conscious breaths, or simply noticing the thoughts that pull you outward. As you grow more aware of your inner landscape, you see that the turbulence of life has less control over you. You learn to rest in the present moment, to observe without attachment, and to allow the world to unfold without clinging to it. This turning inward is the path to freedom from constant desire. Peace is not found in acquiring, achieving, or controlling anything outside of you. It is discovered in the space where you stop needing and start being. When you stop chasing, the heart opens and the mind settles. You realize that everything you were looking for externally has always existed within. In this awareness, you return to your own center where there is nothing to add and nothing to take away. Only the quiet. The mind stops constantly running toward what is absent. Instead, you start noticing the richness of what is already present. once went unnoticed. A smile, a gentle breeze, the warmth of the sun begin to reveal themselves as treasure. Awareness shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, showing you that life has always been full, even when it seemed empty. Gratitude becomes a natural companion when you live in this state. Instead of longing for what you don't have, you start appreciating what is already in your hands. A simple meal, a kind word, or the presence of someone you love becomes enough. The sense of lack fades because you are no longer measuring life by what is missing, but by what is already overflowing around you. Each moment holds more than you ever realized. And in this recognition, content grows naturally. Living in awareness also changes the way you interact with the world. You notice opportunities and blessings that previously passed by unnoticed. Challenges are seen as part of life's completeness rather than some punishments. Your perception shifts from judgment to observation, from expectation to acceptance. And the more you cultivate this awareness, the more you understand that life is generous and that its gifts have always been there, waiting for your attention. The act of gratitude transforms ordinary experiences into profound ones. When you recognize abundance in what is simple, even a small gesture or a quiet moment becomes meaningful. You no longer need to wait for extraordinary circumstances to feel complete or joyful. Life itself in its ordinary flow becomes enough. The overflowing nature of existence is revealed when you learn to see it. And every breath, every interaction becomes a source of self fulfillment. Living in awareness is a return to a natural state of completeness. Nothing needs to be added or changed. When you stop counting what is missing and start appreciating what is present, you discover a deep satisfaction that does not depend on external conditions. Gratitude reveals that life is already abundant, and in that recognition, your heart feels full. The fullness of this moment is all that has ever been necessary, and in it you are whole. The body experiences needs constantly, and it is natural to respond to them. Hunger calls for food. Fatigue demands rest, and the environment requires shelter for protection. These needs give shape and rhythm to daily life, and they remind us that we are part of a physical world that operates according to certain rules. Yet these needs belong only to the body and the mind, not to the essence of who you truly are. The being within you is untouched by these conditions, observing them without being defined or limited by them. This inner dimension of your existence is vast, still, and silent. It does not hunger, it does not tire, it does not die, and it does not cease. While the body moves through its cycles of need and fulfillment, the being within remains unaffected. It is a constant presence, a steady awareness that witnesses everything without judgment or expectation. When you pay attention to this stillness, you start to feel a freedom that is not dependent on the sounds. They think that being complete is a matter of accumulating, acquiring, or fixing what is lacking. In reality, the wholeness you seek is not something to be earned or built. It is already present at the core of your being. Recognizing this is not an intellectual exercise, but an experiential realization that unfolds naturally when you quiet the mind and turn inward. Awakening to this dimension changes the way you approach life. Your actions no longer arise from need or desperation, but from the fullness that already exists within. You engage with the world freely without anxiety or dependence because your completeness is not contingent on circumstances. Even when the body experiences discomfort or loss, the being within remains untouched, providing a steady ground of peace and clarity that cannot be shaken. The awareness of this inner wholeness brings a profound sense of liberation. You begin to see that life, with all its challenges and pleasures, is simply a play in which the body participates while the being within, remains whole, intact. Nothing outside can add to it or take away from it. To live in this recognition is to live in harmony with your true nature, experiencing each moment fully yet untouched by the illusions of need, lack, or incompleteness. Life is often misunderstood as a journey to acquire more to fill some imagined emptiness. People chase achievements, relationships, possessions, and experiences, believing that each will bring a sense of completion. Yet the truth is that you are already full. The sense of lack arises only from identification with the mind and its endless craving. Life's true purpose is not to make you complete, because you never needed to be completed. It is to guide you back to the awareness of the fullness that has always existed within you. Every experience, challenge, and every joy in life serves as a matter of feedback. When you face difficulties, they are not punishments but reminders to look deeper beyond the surface distractions. When you encounter beauty or love, they are hints pointing toward the inherent completeness inside you. Life is constantly providing opportunities for remembrance to peel away layers of false beliefs and conditioning so that the awareness of your own wholeness can shine through. Desires and attachments create the illusion that you are lacking, that something must be added to your life to feel whole. Yet these are only signs that you have forgotten your nature temporarily. When you stop chasing after them and turn inward, you discover that the source of all longing is not outside but within. The fullness of your being does not depend on a circumstance or event. Simply exists as the ground of your consciousness waiting for you to recognize it. The quiet moments of reflection, stillness, and self-awareness are where life revives. Till these moments, you are reminded that nothing needs to be fixed and feel complete. Life is not a task to be accomplished, but a journey of remembering. Each breath, each sensation, each thought can become a doorway to the realization that the wholeness you seek has never been absent. It has always been you. Living with this understanding transforms how you experience the world. You no longer move from one desire to another in search of fulfillment because you recognize that fulfillment was never something to be achieved. That is your natural state. Life's purpose is fulfilled in helping you remember this truth beyond the noise, beyond the demands of the mind, beyond the illusions of lack. In that remembrance, you rest effortlessly in the completeness of your being. Sit quietly and allow yourself to simply be. In the silence of those moments, the mind begins to slow and the constant chatter of thoughts loses its grip. You may notice the urge to do something, to plan or to fix. But each time you return to stillness, you give yourself a chance to reconnect with the essence of your being. In this simple act of presence, you start to sense a completeness that has always been there waiting for your attention. As you focus on your breath, you begin to feel a rhythm that is deeper than any activity or thought. Each inhalation and exhalation reminds you that life flows without need or struggle. The awareness that watches your breath is not striving for anything. It is not seeking or missing. It simply exists whole and undivided. In this awareness, the illusion of lack begins to dissolve. And you recognize that everything necessary for peace and fulfillment has always been within you. When you rest in this quiet presence, you notice that the world around you does not define you completely. Joy, sadness, success, or failure may come and go, but the awareness that of them remains untouched. It is like the sky observing clouds passing by, vast, open, and in that recognition, you start to understand that nothing in life can make you more complete because you are already whole from the beginning. The more time you spend in stillness, the more subtle this completeness becomes. You realize that the sense of something missing was never. It was a thought that arose in the mind, not a truth of your being. The body may experience needs and the mind may crave experiences, but the presence that is aware of both is untouched by all these conditions. It is the core of who you are, steady, full and complete. This realization transforms the way you live. You move through life with less grasping and more ease, knowing that nothing external can add to, or take away from your wholeness. Each moment becomes sufficient. Each breath a reminder of the fullness that exists within. Sit quietly, breathe, and simply be. And you will discover that nothing was ever missing. The presence of your awareness has always been complete.